Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have today for you. XRP FUD, we got to address it. Will Congress write legislation around XRP? You're going to want it. And how about this? XRP moment of truth. You're going to want that too. We got that and so much more. By the way, XRP is not a security. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Let's stop right there. 1 second. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back right here. You can see XRPLHQ, the community website for XRP. Make sure you check out the XRP Rich List, XRP Calculator. And if you're a project that wants to advertise, you can do it. Just click the link underneath and promote on that site. Check it out. It is amazing. Let's get started. XRP cryptocurrency market is $1.24 trillion. The market is off by 1.39% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin 29,700 plus, 1889 and change for Ethereum. Tether market cap is 83.8 billion. And if I'm not mistaken, that's an all-time high for Tether. Watch out, Department of Justice. How do we really feel in the U.S. government about Tether? I'd like to know. 77 cents for XRP right now. We're off by 4.54% in the 24-hour. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I do want to tell you about this right here before we start. Link 2 is the home where you can get the best private equity products, ladies and gentlemen. You could do it right here. You could see all these amazing products here that are available. But I want you to know about this one, Cerebris, ladies and gentlemen. AI, baby. That's what we're talking about. See what they have done. It is absolutely remarkable. Look what they've done. Reduce the technology that everybody's used to down to this. This is what's going on here in Cerebris. It is amazing. It will be back on the platform at 8 a.m. Pacific time today. Do not miss it or any of the other opportunities. They don't last long. Click the link underneath the video. This is a warning right here. There's a lot of scam sites, and I tell you, I've received a lot of email myself since the ruling. Be very careful what you click on. As David Schwartz reminds all of us here, warning of scam site promising 100 million XRP airdrop. It just isn't true. Be very, very careful, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these scams look so legit. You got to watch out. On July 13th, Judge Torres told the SEC that it has to talk about each token, each sale, if it wants to continue its regulation by enforcement farce in the Southern District of New York. That's how bad a humiliation the Ripple ruling was for Gary Gensler. And I'm not going to play this, but this is a constant recycled clip here, which is amazing by Not Financial Advice. Shout out to NFA for this. I tell you, this is where his motto is just being said, everything over and over and over. I can't speak to any one case, any one coin, any one project. We all know it is absolute BS. The SEC lost in a very big way on that day. But there's trouble here in this space, and stay with me because we're going to get to where we need to go here. But there's trouble and confusion in this space, and this is where it starts. Take a listen to this clip here about what XRP really is from the Bitcoin Maxis.
There has been a ton of interest in the U.S. in Ripple, right? And and U.S.-based investors really haven't had the opportunity to buy it for years now.
Right, Coinbase immediately relisted it.
Relisted
like a couple hours after that ruling came out.
And let's be honest, it's a top 10 token.
Right.
Right. If you're benchmarked to performance or you're trying to get exposure to the crypto space, right? Like you're almost folks are like
so indexes maybe had to buy.
People had
Second
absolutely.
It was relisted, maybe had to buy. Wow, that's interesting.
And it's been like, I won't take credit for this since I heard it from somebody else, but that was, one of the main reasons to be bullish. Ripple before this decision was nobody in the U.S. has had an opportunity to buy it.
So just the second, if it were to become available, then bam.
Yeah, bam.
So was it like liquid? Like, I mean,
it is liquid. It's one of the most liquid tokens on the planet.
So a bunch of liquidity just like flowed back to the States as soon as that happened?
On the day, Ripple traded over $10 billion. Wow.
What was that, like last Thursday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that is, that's like Bitcoin on a bad day.
Yeah.
Like
That's crazy.
That's a crazy, and an alt token. Most people don't even know what it does.
Yeah, I don't think it does much, but that's just my opinion.
But
Yeah, and your opinion is way off, fella. And I'll tell you what's hilarious about this, and I'm only showing this clip because from an investor angle, we need to understand that the paradigm shift has happened, the seismic paradigm shift has happened right underneath of these gentlemen's feet, and they don't realize it. And this is what can happen. Now, I don't want to see anybody losing the market, but if their mindset doesn't change, there's going to be trouble in their world, and they're going to have a very hard time dealing with what is taking place here. They don't even know what it does. They don't even believe XRP has a use case. Well, that's why you're watching this video. Wait till you find out. This is a classic moment right here when the Ripple ruling news hit. Listen to these macro, massive guru investors sort it out. It gets dropped very quickly here.
Because the purchasers did not have a reasonable expectation of profit tied to Ripple's effort? Okay. Those sales were blind bid ask transactions, she said, where the buyers could not have known if their payments, I'm reading from Reuters here, of money went to Ripple or any other seller of XRP. Interesting. So the buyer becomes the person who profits from it becomes the fulcrum here. XRP sales on cryptocurrency platforms.
I mean,
by
Jason,
Ripple.
you're not going to figure this out in real time. This is too complicated. The bottom line is that the headline is...
Well, I just want to make sure the audience gets it, yeah.
Look, the headline is, I'm reading the tweet, Ripple sales of XRP do not constitute offer of investment contracts, according to Judge. They won.
They won.
This is a huge vindication for them. And the XRP is ripping 35%.
Yeah, and it really handcuffs the SEC. What are they going to do about Coinbase and every other exchange? I mean, if they're not selling securities, I think Coinbase and everybody else has always maintained they're selling tokens. This was the fulcrum argument for the SEC, and they just lost.
The whole crypto.
I'm sorry. I'm a flawed man. You know, this has been a long road, and watching some of these Maxis get their mind wrapped around this is absolutely beautiful. I'm loving every minute of it. And meanwhile, what we're really seeing here, shout out to Elizabeth for this one here. Commissioner Hester Peirce emphasized her concerns with the SEC's enforcement-centric approach and highlighted guidance principles for regulating digital ecosystem. This is coming from the House Committee of Agriculture. And here we know because of the decision that hit on July 13th, XRP is not a security. It says clearly here, XRP did not violate securities laws here, and it's talking about the fact that XRP sales to institutional buyers did amount to a violation for selling unregistered securities. The opinion underscores the urgent need to provide legal clarity. That's exactly right. It exposes the gap now of regulation where the SEC claimed there wasn't one. Now, this is important, and it's going to become very important in just a moment here. We know that FedNow has launched. Services allow banks and credit unions to transfer money on behalf of their customers instantly, any time of the day and any day of the year. Stay with me through this. Now think of this for a moment. Now, I have said I did not expect the price to explode with FedNow. I never have. What I'm excited about is that new payment rail infrastructure is going to organize domestic liquidity and allow in the future for stable coins, CBDCs, assets like XRP, XLM, and so on, to be able to be used, moved, and transferred in value, whether it be for some other domestic use, settling a derivative against a dollar or some other nature, crossing these items. That could certainly be done. But the real play here for me is getting that organized domestic liquidity on this new payment infrastructure that can accept and move these digital assets of value along with messaging, but then be able to use and call on them for large cross-border payments. Understanding that, let's take a look at this. Chad Steingraber's at it again, and so's MetaMan X, who believe they have found exactly what we're looking for here. R3 Quarter will become a FedNow service provider. And we know Ripple's already in the game. Steps in Core to Settler here from R3 website. I posted this a while back, but posting it again, not sure if I was first, but almost always the last thing heard or seen, the first thing remembered. There you go. And if you look at this, you can see the pathway here and all of its connections. So here you have it here, right? It's all right here. Steps and core to settler, XRP network. You're seeing it, right? R3 Quarter will become a FedNow service partner. Now here's what we know, and we've known it for years. R3 reveals Quarter Payments app integrates with XRP, and it will use other assets too. That's why it's designed to do that. But that's what they started with, and we know that there's a huge connection here. IBM and Ripple, however, are not the only players in the blockchain payments world. This is from 2019. Last year, R3 launched its new core to settler platform using Ripple's XRP, but here it comes. In January, Swift announced a partnership with R3, where they are collaborating to test core to settler, specifically integrated with GPI with core to settler. However, a core to settler depends on XRP to token. Partnerships put Swift and Ripple and two rivals in indirect connection. And I think that's been the goal all along, isn't it? Is that Swift doesn't want to give up its partner base, so they put a firewall between them and their clients. Think of this for a moment, what has taken place here. FedNow launches. I said I was hopeful, it wasn't a prediction, but I was hopeful that we would see a decision in the Ripple case on or before FedNow launches. It's exactly what happened. 7 days prior, it launched, which tells my speculative side that it mattered. It mattered to have that clarity in order for FedNow to launch, because Ripple is a partner to FedNow, right? So understand what is taking place with the ruling. Now that we've seen these new domestic payment rails launched here, and we know that things are always done in a phase-in operation, we'll get there to the digital asset flow and cross-border payment. That's all going to come. But if you don't have the domestic payment infrastructure built to accept that last mile, none of it matters anyway. And I believe we just saw that last mile fired up yesterday. And that's exciting to me. But think of the judgment now. You have this huge demand through FedNow, which is going to grow to the expansion and the inclusion of digital assets like XRP for cross-border payment, settlement of derivatives, things of that nature. But look at the decision that took place. The decision that took place in the SEC versus Ripple case has now set the stage to where Ripple can sell XRP directly to institutional enterprises outside of the United States, putting U.S. institutions at a severe disadvantage, because U.S. institutions were ruled that they cannot buy XRP directly from Ripple. The JP Morgans, the BNYs, the Citi, the BlackRock, the State Street, the Vanguard, you name it, we could go on, have to go to the retail exchanges like we do and buy it off of the market itself. They are at a huge disadvantage now. They are incentivized as FedNow launches, as we take one step closer to the inclusion of digital assets and cross-border payments expanding. In order for the United States banking system and financial institutions to participate and keep pace with the institutions around the world. 95% of Ripple's customers are outside of the United States. You think they're going to wait for the U.S.? What I see is the stage is set for an XRP price explosion, because all we're really waiting on is it for to dawn on to the institutional exchanges this right here. If your company and your business, your banking and financial model needs to use this digital asset every day, and the price is going to continually over time make its way higher, it would be in your institution's best interest to buy as much of it today at the price it is today before it goes up again tomorrow and so on. And until there is a post-settlement decision or legislation or intervention from FSOC regulation, retail exchanges are the only place U.S. institutions are allowed to buy XRP. This is a forced hand. I believe until this changes, the stage is set for the institutions to come in and buy out the retail exchanges. And wouldn't this be a remarkable way to force the exchanges, or to force the institutions to buy up the liquidity on exchanges for themselves and then find themselves in some kind of post-settlement decision? I don't know. You know, it doesn't have to happen this way. But I tell you, it's hard for me not to understand that that is exactly where the stage is set for right now. Now, any one of these factors could change. If they do a post-settlement decision, that could change everything. They get a note, they get a waiver, they get the no action letter going forward. They can go right back to selling to institutional sales. But until that happens, the U.S. institutions are at a huge disadvantage, and it would be wise for them to not wait for a decision or a settlement, as all the domestic payment rails around the world, including BRICS, the UK, the RTP, the RTGS, the SIPs, you name it, all of that is being fired up as well as FedNow. And believe it, that stage is set for the world to be able to move to the next step, which is the inclusion of digital assets for large value cross-border payments. And here we see we're at a moment of truth for XRP. I said we were at 77 cents, and Eggrag Crypto gave us one of the scenarios where we're retesting 77 cents. It's normal, and even if we lose it within its acceptable boundaries, 72 cents we may find, or 67 or 59. He says, stay calm because I'm in the camp that grown men will weep, and so am I. Not financial advice from me, him, or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.